This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com.
Currently on TV tuners.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to Podcast The Origin. It's our new mini-series where we're going through the Gundam The Origin OVA series and talking about it movie by movie.
More like Old and Busted. This is episode 2. We're back at it again. And we're
That's
out
right.
of ideas.
Yeah, sure. We're here. I'm here, your host Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and lookalike, my lookalike, Stairmaster.
I'm also Swans. I'm Guy Guyson.
Yeah, we look alike, and that's a thing that'll
But
play
we don't have
into...
similar names at all. So it's
No.
impossible to make a joke about this.
Yeah, well, you're Stairmaster, and you look alike to me, Swanson. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I'll probably
Yeah, we're both
end up
otters.
using you
Oh no. And with
for
us
my
is
own nefarious purposes.
menacing man in armor, Kyorin. Ah!
Whoa.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Where'd you
Hey,
get
you're
that?
gonna be like... It'd be a real shame if we found out, like, who you were, or, like, you took off your helmet.
I think it's better this way.
Just a random dude, and...
Yeah.
Look, there's two possibilities with me. I'm either never going to appear again, or I'm going to appear and in the actual Gundam series, and the scar is explained by what happened in today's episode.
And you're still wearing that suit of armor.
Yeah.
He's been wearing that suit of armor for 18 years.
The doctors had to attach it to his face in order to keep him alive. Oh, he's just wearing the helmet and nothing else.
Hot.
His entire body's completely open for attack, but his head impenetrable.
I imagine piloting a mobile suit just buck naked, free balling.
Sounds like a real erotic experience.
Yeah, that's technically what they do in G Gundam.
Oh yeah, technically. Well, most of the time he's wearing clothes underneath the goop, I think. Or does the goop
Is he?
strip him? I don't...
I seem to recall that in G Gundam they did nude silhouettes of people.
Like,
when
the
they were
goop
getting
is,
in the
like,
thing.
body tight, but does it take its clothes off first?
I
What
feel like
happens?
he does. I feel like he strips down for it.
Oh,
And how can you have the goop cover your body skin tight with your clothes still
yeah, you
on?
would die.
Yeah,
Your dick would
that's
be
why.
crushed.
That's why me and all of my fifth grade friends were all excited when the lady was getting into the suit.
Yeah. Good times.
Anyway,
Yeah, like you were watching the show totally stone-faced until she came into the transformation sequence and you're all hyped.
He was like,
Well,
whoa,
I just
what are
was-
these? What's that?
I just distinctly remember that one time I went to school and like one of my friends was like, "Oh, I heard on one of the episodes she gets in there," and we were all like, "What?"
It's good to have a friend who's just a total scumbag. So you know what to
Yeah.
avoid later in life.
Yeah,
Or what to directly head towards.
he's probably the CEO of a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah, and he's probably on the Epstein flight logs.
Yeah.
All right, so are we just going to ignore our guest commentator this evening?
Oh.
Well, yeah, he's my spitting image. He's sitting right there. Pumpkin.
Oh God, this again.
He doesn't even look like you.
He looks like a rotting pumpkin, Kyo, right?
Yeah,
That's
and
been
he's
encased in a
blonde.
glass jar.
Why does he have a wig on?
It's a pumpkin, guys.
It's not even a wig of your hair. It's a blonde wig.
We need to take this pumpkin to like a graveyard at this point.
Oh my god.
Bury
Not this
it.
again. Alright, fine. I guess we're going to sideline Pumpkin yet again so he can't participate in the pod.
Yeah, I think I'm going to sideline him out the window. Ah!
Whoa.
No!
Out to sea you go.
Why is everything taken away from me?
Yeah, we've upgraded our Denver studio, so we're by the sea now.
Yeah. The Sea of Denver. That good old Rocky Mountain Sea.
The sea they don't want you to know about.
Yeah.
The they.
So we watched the second episode, second OVA from the Gundam The Origin series.
Original video animation.
This whole podcast miniseries is brought to you by Pfeiffer, who paid a staggering amount over at Buy Me a Coffee to have us watch this.
Over $18.
That's right. So if you have an idea for something that you want to hear us talk about, well, you can also go over to Buy Me a Coffee and donate, and it'll be another bonus episode coming down the pike. You can donate for any topic you're thinking about. Maybe more Gundam. Maybe you want us to watch that episode of G Gundam where the lady gets in the suit, and only that episode.
Maybe you want me to review it second by second.
Yeah, we'll do it. Sure. Just it's one topic equals a coffee.
Mm-hmm. Please don't request the Holocaust.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that would be preferable. I'm glad that you put that thought in people's minds, though.
We don't really have much to add to that discussion, really.
Yeah.
It's pretty settled, I think.
Well, you'd be surprised how many people disagree. So
can you imagine if we published a podcast where we each had our own opinion on the number of people who die?
Yeah, I think it would do rave reviews with a certain subsect of people. Hopefully none listening right now.
Yeah, I can see it now. Like Swanson has the correct number. I'm like, that's close, but it's 1 million off.
And I'm just like 400 million people died, and they don't want you to know about it.
I was thinking you'd just say 0 people died.
Oh,
no. No one. Does anyone say that?
Yes.
0 people died.
Yeah.
So yes, we speaking of people who definitely are not going to commit a Holocaust, we're taking a look at the zombies and all of the other folks involved in the origins of Gundam. The second OVA is titled Artesia's Sorrow.
Yeah.
Pretty suitable.
She's pretty sorrowful in this.
It's not a great time.
No. Does she show up in any more of the...
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But I don't think she gets any real screen time until the final one. Or the 5th one, I can't remember.
So, yes, we open up 3 years have passed.
Mm-hmm. Also, we get a little recap here, and a nice map of space.
Yeah, this recap also does a better explanation of the backstory of Gundam than the first one.
Well, it's kind of easier to convey information through just exposition, I guess. Yeah,
through a reverent old Japanese man.
Yes.
Disembodied.
Then they start dropping climate change truth bombs.
Yeah. What a turn-off. I don't need your Voxaganda.
Yeah, I don't need to know. I don't need to know the so-called truth.
Yes.
Yeah, like whenever they bring these hoaxes into my esteemed media, I just immediately turn it off. So I didn't watch the rest of this after they started talking about that. I was like, yeah.
Climate change, the Middle Ages, Sandy Hook.
Dirt.
They do talk about Sandy Hook, which is very strange.
Well, they're very concerned that Char's going to do Sandy Hook.
Yes, they are.
So anyways, the scene is Andalusia, Spain.
That's right, yeah.
Which is apparently just one huge refugee camp, because apparently North Africa is now inhospitable to human life.
Yeah, I'm glad that the creators of Gundam: The Origin realized that the people who are going to get screwed over the most by the onset of climate change are definitely not are definitely people living in extremely
Yes.
warm climates.
Well, there's also a thing in like Zeta Gundam. There's a few scenes in Africa that mention desertification.
Ugh, no good.
Yeah.
So yeah, Spain is not in a great place, but hey, they live in a palace, so who cares about all that?
A literal castle.
Yeah, they never seem to care. Like, I don't expect Char to care at all, but I guess Don
Artesia,
Tiabolo is actually working to help things, isn't he?
oh, he's like an NGO guy. So he is kind of helping, but he is probably also involved with the Earth Federation CIA.
Yeah, he does Tabolo Mass, right?
Yes, Tabolmas has adopted the Dacon siblings.
Yes,
And now
they now go by
Salamas and Eduardo.
Yes,
Yes.
Eduardo.
Yeah, Sala's helping out at the refugee camp.
Yeah, doing doctor shit, nurse shit, I guess.
But she forgot to wear a mask.
Yeah, that's how they
Classic
get you.
rookie mistake.
Yeah, this film is amazing because it predicts COVID and it predicts Juan Guaido.
Yeah,
Predicts COVID?
His failed coup attempt. Yes.
of Spain.
Venezuela.
I don't know if having a virus makes you predict COVID.
Come on, nobody can have this.
Let Daddy have his treats.
I mean, the Sahara is sort of like a region, sort of like Wuhan.
Yeah,
I'm
when you
sorry,
think about
everyone.
it, most places are like a region.
I'm sorry, everyone.
So Jimba is still here for now.
Yeah, being a
And,
very bad influence.
Yes, he mentions new types though, which is the first drop of that we get,
Yes.
and the only one we get in this episode.
It's completely incoherent.
He says it in like a feverish, hysterical way.
Well, yeah, he's only gotten more unhinged since traveling to Earth.
Yeah.
And he thinks the solution to their problem is to team up with a corporation.
The deep state.
Yeah, a mistake that he makes that ends his life.
Yes. Anaheim
Yeah,
Electronics.
I hear that. I'm just like, yeah, this is not going to go well.
yeah. What kind of communist is this guy supposed to be?
He's a Trotskyite. That's why
Yeah,
he
that
wants
makes sense.
shit so badly.
So yeah, he gets Tiabolo just like picks him up and carries him into his office and is like, "What you've done is a very big mistake."
Yeah, he should have hit him. I would get pissed off at Jimba at this point.
Yeah. Well, hey, Jimba gets what's coming to him.
Yeah, but so do a lot of other people who didn't. Oh.
They got
Yeah.
what wasn't coming to them.
And Jimba's like a whimpering fool at this point. He's just like, "Let me dream." I want to dream.
thought the corporation would help us. They've got a lot of resources.
They got a lot of guns.
They got a lot of they're definitely not working for my enemies.
They told me all I'd have to do is privatize the water supply.
So, yeah, we get the first of a recurring sort of runner of the episode, which is Sayla writing letters to her mother that she never sends.
She does send them. They just don't let her mom see them.
Oh,
think.
that's worse.
That's like 10 times worse, yeah.
Yeah, so it starts with her saying that she discovered that what her mom was talking about with the moon is actually very cruel.
Dick move.
But she's like, "Hey, we're almost halfway there now, and you're fine, I bet."
Smash cut. She's bedridden as aged 40 years.
Yeah. He's clearly dying of mother disease.
Speaking of mother disease, Sayla comes down with a fever at this point.
Yeah, what they call it, Sahara fever,
Oh, yeah, they say it might be that.
but it's something else, I assume.
I assume it's not Sahara fever, since I assume that's very deadly, since it's got a cool name like that.
Yeah. Is there anything? Is this like presaging something in the show?
No.
Oh, she just has a fever.
Yes. It's
All
just
right.
drama, Swanson. The character you like is in mortal peril.
Well, yeah, and then they both become in mortal peril in a little bit because before long, a bunch of armed people just storm in like
Yeah.
they're taking down fucking...
Yeah, like these guerrilla fighters just start mowing down all the maids and servants with machine guns.
yeah, they're coming
Yes.
to take Lalo Salamanca.
These guys are more competent. I mean, it
That's for
seems.
sure, yeah. And, okay, so I do have a question about this, because Tobolo is, like, sleeping, and then he wakes up when he hears a armor-clad assassin approaching him.
Yeah.
Do you think the armor-clad assassin was their first choice? When, like, picking an assassination guy?
I think he was just a regular guy when they hired him, but he saw the suit of armor and put it on of his own volition.
Like,
Oh,
maybe
so
the
you don't
armor
think,
was,
like...
in the house and he put it on?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
there's all showing some medieval weapons in the house.
Like, you don't
Already.
think that they were doing the interview process for the assassin job, and he showed up in full, like, armor and was like, I'm ready.
I think if it was Giran doing the interviewing, then yes, but not Caecilia. I think she would have rejected that application.
Yeah. So, do you think it's like John Wick inside there, then? He's just like a normal assassin. He's just like a very trained assassin dude who put on a suit of armor.
Do you think he put on the armor just to make it more of a challenge?
Yes. Big mistake. Classic mistake when you're a professional assassin.
Well,
It's
it works
like-
out for him for the first two people.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Well, he thinks he killed Tobolo. 'cause
Timbo
he
falls out a window, fleeing from
Yes. Yeah, and we're just led to assume at that point that he's dead.
him. How do you feel about the animation here with the very exaggerated movements?
I
was
didn't
fun.
mind it that much, yeah.
All right.
Do you have a problem with it?
No, I was just curious.
So yeah, then we Edward rescues Sayla
Yeah.
from being murdered, and then they go
Jimba
and
dies
hide.
pathetically.
Yeah, he just gets murdered.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is kind of wacky. This guy's not going to be a real threat. Oh, actually...
What? You thought the man in armor wasn't going to be a threat?
I mean, like a threat that scared people, but not a threat that would actually kill a character off.
Oh,
Nope, Jimpa's dead. And
good riddance.
yeah, good riddance to
Been
yesterday's
far too long.
trash. And then Edward falls for the oldest trick in the book, the classic construction zone trick, where you just set up a construction zone at the top of some stairs and wait for someone to come, I guess.
I don't think... Yes.
He was the armor dude was clearly just waiting there for someone to
that
walk
is-
by. I
How
guess.
did he get in there?
I don't know, just hanging out.
Maybe he scaled out the outside wall.
He's clearly very skilled, and I think my theory that he's only wearing the armor to make it harder is
Yes.
starting to come together here.
Maybe he took the armor off, scaled up the wall, and then put it back on.
Well, so he scaled it while carrying the armor, or did he throw it to the top and then climb up to retrieve it?
What's more impressive?
I think the tie.
Yeah, I mean, throwing it would require like a lot of strength. Stairmaster, when you're making the power scaling vid,
Oh, maybe there's two armored guys.
Wait, Stair, when you're making the power scaling vid for this, you need to do the math on how much strength it would require to throw a suit of armor up, like,
Well,
multiple...
he's probably doing it in pieces.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Is your prediction that there's two armored guys, but only one thing of armor?
Oh,
So they have to
no,
keep
I was just saying
switching?
there's a different guy in armor waiting at the top, and the other one left after killing Jimba.
Oh, he's just like, my work here is done.
Maybe there
No
were three.
need to make sure my other friend gets the job done with the
Maybe
children.
they're triplets.
So, Stair, seriously, do we ever see this armor guy?
No, he
again?
dies.
Oh, so he got stabbed in the face and he died. Okay.
Yeah, there's a sword fight between him and Char/Castival/Eduardo
Yes,
/
it's
Quattro Bagina.
a pretty cool fight. He goes and stabs him just right in the face.
Yeah.
And the guy's like flailing around trying to get at least one hit on him and doesn't, then just falls to his death.
Yeah. Well, he takes like the entire balcony walkway they're standing on with him.
Yeah,
like
and
a pro
luckily,
wrestling match.
luckily Char is like quick on his feet.
Yeah, it's like he's
able
got
to-
supernatural reflexes or something.
Yeah, if only we had some sort of word to describe what he is.
Good boy.
Okay, according to the wiki, the assassin did just put on some armor they had there.
Oh,
Do they have a source for that? Is this like in the manga?
It says one of them puts on a suit of armor Don Diablo has on display at his home and walks into his room wielding a sword.
I gotta assume this was just cut from the manga. And they didn't just make that up wholesale. And they need to make sense of the universe.
Of course, this is a fandom wiki. There's no sourcing whatsoever on the entire page.
well, I think we're gonna have to take it as gospel at this point.
Yeah. Should have used a gun.
Yeah, or a Gundam.
No, those haven't been invented yet.
Be wild if he. Does this count as a mobile suit?
No. Yes.
So
Yeah,
first mobile suit.
Knights in Armor were the original mecha.
Yeah, when you think about it. Wow, King Arthur was the original mecha production.
What a powerful warrior.
Yeah, so, the cops called. It's morning now. There's just bodies in the courtyard.
A person from a corporation known as the Yashima Group arrives.
Yeah.
This is where we find out that Tobolo lived. Not dead yet.
Yeah, he only fell like 4 stories.
Well, also he's got a lot of he's got a lot of meat, so he's he's got a lot of meat on the bones.
Is that how falling works? Is that it makes it better, not worse?
Yeah.
Yeah, shock
Cushioned
absorbing.
his fall.
He fell on his back.
Oh, ooh. Mm.
That might be why he's pretty much wheelchair bound for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it's not great.
So yeah, the head of the Yashima Group shows up and he's like, "Listen, Tobolo, they were trying to murder you and Jimba and everybody here. You should
It's
probably."
like, I know.
It's like, oh, how'd you make that deduction there, Chief?
Why don't you live in space where you don't need legs?
And he's like, "Oh, all right, sure, why not? I guess. Thank you so much for this opportunity." He mentions that Side 5, which is where they're going to, the Texas colony,
Yes.
is an abandoned theme park that that they renovated.
Yes. To essentially be Westworld.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Is pretty much Westworld. No milk robots though.
Yeah, this place does show up in the original series, but it's an abandoned, desolate wasteland.
No milk robots as far as we know. They
No.
could have just been around.
Maybe
Oh,
Haro. Maybe a plus-size Haro with udders.
Oh God.
Stare, you're upsetting me.
Hello, Haro. Milky mode, activate.
I was just
Milky
thinking
mode.
I was thinking just regular Haro, but you just pour some milk in there to power him up.
No, we need a Haro with big mommy milkies.
Hello, Haro. Iron helps us grow.
Do you think Westworld Season 4 is gonna have Gundam?
Yes.
Oh,
Better show.
might
But I
tune
think
in.
I think it's going to be Gundam Wing, not this.
Still would tune in.
Better show.
So yeah, we learn that Cassilia did the dirty work essentially.
Like Aaron
she
had to
this-
bitch and moan about it,
yeah,
despite
'cause
doing nothing.
He's like, ugh, couldn't kill them all. What a waste. He's like, all right, well, you do you. I'm gonna go head out. Speaking of characters who could play people from Gundam, Giren's father, what's his name?
Degwin.
Degwin could definitely be played by Michael Chiklis.
Yes. Absolutely.
We get a brief appearance of Degwin, and Degwin's like, Garmo, why don't you come into the car with me?
Yes.
And Giren is like concerned by this.
He's jealous.
Yeah.
I'm not the favorite anymore?
They mentioned that Dozel has a other assignment that he's busy with. Cue
Yes.
Ramba hanging out at the bar, drinking away his sorrows.
Yeah. Presumably he's sad about his dad being dead.
yeah, who knows?
Or it could be a midlife crisis.
He does have this awesome fight scene where he just beats... He goes to town on these guys.
Yeah, these Federation assholes.
Yeah, he's just cleaning house.
Who just storm the stage and demand to do karaoke.
He at one point in this fight scene where he's fighting off like 5 guys, he grabs one by the nostrils and just swings him around.
Also, the bartender knows what's up and like wraps his fist for him like a boxer.
Yes.
After he punches out the first guy.
This isn't the first time, I think, that Rambo has beaten up a bunch of people at the bar.
That technique was mastered over multiple iterations, I'm sure.
Yes. Dozel steps in and is like, oh, you're just beating up a bunch of pipsqueaks now, huh? And there seems to be a mutual respect, even if they don't... seems to be a slight respect between the two of them, because Dozel's like, yeah, your family dying kind of sucked. I didn't have anything to do with that, so...
Let's be team up, guys.
I've got something cool to show you.
Yeah. So he takes him to some sort of top secret lab.
Yes. The Dark Colony.
Which is, that's a great name for something you want to keep secret.
The final level of a video game.
Yeah.
He's like, check out these weapons. He's like, oh.
Yeah. It's called a mobile runner.
Mobile worker.
Yes.
Mobile worker.
Like the powerlifter from Aliens, but with his
pretty much.
Head.
Yeah,
and it went to the gym.
It just demolishes this gun tank.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, that's really strong. Oh, we can kill with that.
Yeah, Rambo's so hype. He does this thing where he punches his own hand. Like
yeah. I feel like I'm going to start doing that now when I'm really hype about something. And he pretty much can't wait to get in there and start beating...
He just bought into fascism at that point.
Yeah. It turns out, Hitler might have won if he had a bunch of cool robots.
He would have been more popular, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Look, you can get people on your side by showing them a robot pretty easily.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, look, if someone comes up to me and is like, hey, check out this, and it's a robot, and I can get in it, yeah, I'm gonna be on board.
These things are so finicky too. They've got hundreds of power cords out of their backs.
Yeah,
and they got pinchers for hands.
Yeah, they're still working on it, but they'll get there.
And the cockpit is exposed.
Rambo also gives a bunch of advice when he's done. He's just like, you gotta change some of these controls.
Yeah.
They're gonna totally dominate the war once they get this weapon on board here.
Yeah.
I would love to see.
I see a lot of positive events coming from this weapon being developed.
Well, yeah. So far, these people seem to be the good guys. So
yes. They've only killed how many people?
At least 1,000.
They orchestrated maybe 2 riots.
Yeah.
And 3 assassinations, as far as we're concerned.
No biggie.
Nah, it's fine. Listen, how many of those do you think Degwin actually approved?
Maybe the first 2.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah,
that's why he's so sad.
Oh, not because his son is still dead.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Cut to Texas Colony where, or actually it's before they get to the Texas Colony where we see a Harrow unit running around.
Yeah, this is also the big change from the original series.
That's a grim foreshadowing.
Yeah, Harrow's in the original, Harrow was built by Amuro, but here he's like a common household toy.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this Amuro cameo? Is it good? Does it need to be here?
Why not? It's a minute long.
Yeah, it feels fine, I guess. For me, it was just oh, that's Amuro. Okay. And also his dad, who is not paying attention to him at all still.
No.
Look,
I think he's not even working and he's not paying attention to him.
As long as it's better than shoehorning in Joker causing Bruce Wayne's parents to die in the Joker movie.
Oh no! Well, what we learn is that Char actually causes Amuro to make it to Side 7.
Yes, he gets his parents separated.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Yikes.
Keo, in the 1989 Batman movie, Joker directly murders Batman's parents.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's better than him indirectly causing it somehow.
Okay. Keo prefers the hands. Keo just wants you to go all out if you're making a movie.
Yeah, like, if you're gonna make Joker involved in his backstory, at least make him, like, actually do it.
Yeah.
Also, that movie has the Bat Dance, so it's worth it.
Yeah. But Joker has the Joker dance.
Oh. Has someone done that yet? Someone's had to have done that by now, right?
I'll look it up.
Joker dance?
With the joke, yeah, him dancing on the steps.
To Bat dance? That seems sacrilegious. No,
You don't remember that iconic part of the movie, Keo? Like the biggest part of the movie?
Yeah, where he's like, oh yeah, I'm kill now. I wear a suit. Look at me.
I'm new and improved, and I'm dancing on some steps.
Yeah, that was like, I was like, wow, this flight is really entertaining with this movie on.
So there's like 50 people watching, like, trailing the family at this point from Xeon.
Yeah.
And they're all very obvious.
Very, Edward keeps picking up on it. And they're like, the target has landed.
Yeah, this lady's like standing like 3 feet away, talking to the phone like that.
You think they're doing it on purpose to, like, intimidate them or what?
I don't know. I mean, they did send the armor fetishist to kill them. But that was an outsourced guy. Maybe these are also outsourced.
Yeah, maybe they just have a really bad job picking outsourced folk.
Yeah.
Look, when I'm telling somebody, what I do is I go into the building they're in, I look at them, then I sit across from them in the same room and watch them.
Yeah, makes sense. This is around the part where we get the... I am glad that the show managed to give the mom a final scene. I usually they don't do that, so...
Oh, you just get a text scroll that said she's dead.
Yeah, usually they just find out through a letter like, mother has passed. So they give her a nice scene here where she recounts meeting their father.
Yeah.
And all that, and then she dies. Pretty
Mom
heartbreaking
disease.
stuff. Yeah, she dies of the rare mom disease seen only in Disney movies. And yeah,
So yeah, we're at Space Texas now.
Yeah, they go to Space Texas. They're hanging out. They're riding horses.
Yeah, animal cruelty abounds.
That's right. We meet Roger.
Asnable.
Yeah, Roger Asnable.
Well, I guess
Never
it's a
heard
bear.
part of this name before.
And then, yeah, as they're going around riding horses, Edward goes off, runs away, and he comes back. But wait a minute, that's not him. That's Char.
Just brown. Yes, a guy who looks exactly like Char but has brown eyes appears.
Yes, and he's
Wait,
way
what
more personable than Char.
You're confusing me. You're upsetting me.
What? The guy who looks like Char, who is Edward, but his name it shows up, and his name is Char.
Alright, so there's a guy who looks like Char, but Char is Edward. But the guy who looks like Char is actually named Char, but he's not Char.
That's right. And also, Edward is castable.
Yes.
Okay, and who's this Quattro Pagina guy?
Oh, he's just an AUG pilot.
We don't have to worry about
Federation Space Forces.
I have a feeling he won't be showing up.
Yeah.
So yeah, Char is much more personable than Edward.
Yes. And then Char comes back and Sayla's like terrified.
Like what does she think he's gonna do? Like be like, you're a clone of me and murder him?
Well, to be fair, it seems like Char's thinking that for a moment.
True. It's funny that the moment they meet, Edward is like, how can I use this to my advantage? A person who looks just like me when I know there are people tailing me.
Yeah, I guess we'll be friends for now. This isn't tenable, though.
So
I was picturing more like he's just like, look at this guy. Looks like me. I don't like that.
My major problem with the second half of this movie seems to be that they go through a lot of plot points sort of haphazardly.
Yeah.
Like they go, they have this meeting with the real Char, and then the real Char doesn't really have another scene until he's changed completely as a character.
Yeah. When he's red-pilled.
Yes. When he's become a Proud Boy. So cut to Sayla writing another letter for her mother, only to discover that she has passed.
Oh yeah, Char comes in with the letter, and he kind of has like this look like he's very pissed off.
Yeah. And he's like, Mom is dead. They have a funeral for her, and then, great times. There's a scene where...
Great times?
Yeah, great times for us, the viewing audience.
I love feeling emotions.
Yes.
I love being sad over
also
fictional characters being dead.
Also, the tombstone does not have her name on it because they can't give away their identities. So still sad.
I think it's triple sad after you mentioned the letter thing.
Yes.
Yes.
We get another scene of robots fighting at this point.
Do we? Yes, we do.
Ramba and one of the Tri-Stars is fighting.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for, folks. Not this human stuff. We want robots punching, going at it.
We want the robots. We want them to be hitting one another.
Ramba is very salty and claims that what's-his-name tried to kill him.
Yeah. What's Ortega? Is that the guy's name?
I think it was Ortega. I don't know. All three of them are the same to me.
Oh, I didn't know that. I guess they're characters who show up again.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's like, this guy tried to kill me. And he's like, oh, whatever. You guys can fight it out afterwards. So yeah, they back at the ranch, the Loom Ranch.
Space Texas.
Tobolo has a meeting with like the high school principal, who's like, listen,
the headmaster.
We need to talk about Edward. He's a psychopath.
Yeah.
Well. He like softened the blow by giving a bunch of compliments first.
Yes.
And then says he's literally like an unsheathed knife.
Yeah, he's like a drawn knife. Is the exact quote that I wrote down. And then says, I hope he doesn't cause some great calamity in the future. That's the type of thing you want to hear the person in charge of your child's education say.
The camera just pans up to a random asteroid.
He's just like, oh, no. Here we go.
I feel like he's going to have some sort of counterattack.
So Tobolo rightly is like, what the fuck? Who gave you the right to say that?
You wet.
And gets pulled away before he can beat the shit out of this guy. And
he's like, that's me, lad. How could you say that about me, lad?
Yeah, even in his crippled state, he probably would have murdered that guy.
Well, yeah, he's got like kingpin strength at this point.
Just from pure rage.
Yeah. And we cut to Sayla and Edward are hanging out at the bar. This guy comes in.
Family friendly.
Oh yeah, because you do see a whole family who are concerned when Edward goes on his attack. So this guy comes in who is again not even hiding that he's keeping tabs on them.
He walks in and like gives Edward like a menacing glance.
Like, do they not do counterintelligence work in the trainings?
No, I think they just hired a random cowboy.
Yeah,
I swear these people are just here to intimidate them at this point.
And Edward at this point has like reached the. Listen, I don't even blame him for this.
Yeah, we all would have done this.
If my mother has just passed, and also I've realized since I've gotten here that people have been keeping a watch on my every move.
Yeah.
I would
and murdering us when we do something they don't like.
Yeah. So he goes up to the guy and he's like, you got some nerve, making it obvious. Yeah, and he's like, what do you mean?
His hand with a beer glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I audibly yelped when he did that.
Yeah, the guy is like, hey kid, you're going too far, and then he just beats the shit out of this guy. To the point where he's about to straight up murder him until Sayla's like, what are you doing?
Like, just swing a board with a nail in it into his skull.
Yeah. And Sayla's like, what are you doing? And he's like,
and we see a moment of realization that the headmaster was right.
Yes. Yeah, Tobolo comes out and is like, oh shit. I guess he is like a drawn knife.
Yeah, and Char has like this fake sadness. Eduardo has this like fake sadness when Sayla calls him out.
He also flat out lies when he says, I won't do this again.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's get out of here. Off screen, I'm assuming he has a conversation with Tobolo about joining the military.
Yes.
Or no, I guess that flash of idea hasn't come across his mind yet.
I think he overheard it during the scene when Tobolo's talking to Roger Ebert.
I thought the idea was that Char mentions everything that the zombies are planning, and that's when the big scheme goes off in Edward's head.
Maybe.
There's also some pressure for him to leave the current school because, again, the headmaster is terrified of him and wants him gone.
Yes.
Everyone's terrified of him.
So yeah, we cut back. Char, the real Char, has
it's talking about how the race war is coming.
Yes, yeah, he's real proud. We'll give him that.
He's dropped out of high school to enlist in Xion's private military.
And he's like, hey, there could be war coming up soon, eh? How about that, eh?
And his dad's like, war is no good.
And
he's like, that's cringe.
Yeah. He's like, hey, in 5 years, I'll be king of the castle after I've murdered a whole bunch of people.
Also, the cat died.
Oh, yeah. Worst death in the movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was just brutal.
That was unnecessarily brutal for Sayla to go through. She goes to dinner where she realizes that this person that she admired, who is kind of like her second brother, has turned into a Nazi.
Yes.
And then goes back upstairs to find her cat dead. I think the real kicker is the tiny little cross that she makes for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the line she says after burying the cat, too.
Yeah. That Lucifer thought that mom was lonely in heaven, so he decided to die to keep her company.
Yeah.
That's no good. Sometimes
and they don't stop there.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I could be like Edward and feel nothing for anybody.
Yeah, Edward is like, hey, Sayla, I'm leaving to go join the Xion military. Bye.
Yeah, he's like, I hope this isn't bad timing on my part.
Actually, I don't care. Bye.
Yeah. And she's like, why are you like leaving right now? It's literally the worst time possible for you to do this. And he's like, okay, see ya.
He's already mid-leaving once she says that.
The animation in this final scene is very good, by the way.
Yes.
There's the final shot of sort of like it takes Sayla's point of view and then tries to follow Edward as he runs away, as he leaves. Is very good.
Castball, Eduardo, Char.
He walks off into the weird storm.
Yeah. He looks at the camera and says, I must go. My home colony needs me.
Also, it was pretty sad how she called out to him with his real name.
Yeah. And then she lost her jacket. It got really cold.
And he's just like, yeah, I heard that, but I'm still, like, walking.
I must become Char.
And Char's just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Nothing.
I must become like Char.
We forgot to talk about Char's voice acting. It's fun how they got the regular Char's voice actor just to do a younger voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He just pitches it up.
That's nice.
Yeah.
How old is that guy at this point?
Probably in his 60s.
Yeah.
Wow, rest in peace.
I think they had Armoro voicing his child self. Did you know that he's the same voice actor as Yamcha and Tuxedo Mask?
Dang.
Wow.
It did kind of sound like the original Amuro from what I can remember from the 2 episodes of Gundam I've watched.
The only 2 episodes you'll watch.
We'll see. Maybe someday. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of that little episode of that movie released in theaters. Final thoughts on this bad boy?
I don't know if Char I don't know about this portrayal of Char as a massive psychopath. He's more of a moderate psychopath in the series, and
well, he clearly shows like normal human emotions. He's just kind of bottling them up and has like a drive,
like Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't speak for how Char acts in the series, but I feel like everything he did in this isn't like huge psychopath behavior. Like there's a clear through line of his motivations.
Yeah, like an actual psychopath would just be like, sociopath. "Oh, mom's." Yeah, he'd be like, "Oh, mom's dead. Okay, let me go ahead and tell sister, whatever her name is."
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it is kind of complicated. All these names.
A true psychopath probably would have killed that guy anyway.
Yeah.
And made sure his sister left afterwards.
It's good.
Yeah, it was good. It's probably on par with the first one. They both have they both have like a bit of a rush to get through all of the story that they need to get to like the clear big stuff that's coming in the later movies. But we're slowly getting towards Char.
Yes. And the Zakus, which is what we're really here for.
Well, yeah, we're really here for specifically Char in a Zaku.
Yes. Which is why they had to have a scene of him in it in the recap. So the viewer wouldn't get bored.
Exactly. Well, yeah, people would have just walked out of the theater. It was, no thanks. I've seen enough.
This story is it's compelling enough, but if he's not going to be like a robot later going to town on some people, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I think that's the entire reason the Rel plotline is in here, just so there's more robots.
I will say this: Ramba is like so far. Yeah, Char is cool
Dark
and
Horse.
all. But Ramba is like my favorite of the characters so far in this. I don't like his deep dive into fascism in this installment, but he's still pretty cool.
Yeah, I like this. This is official TV Tuners thumbs up.
Yeah, that's a tune in for me.
Yeah, you can't resist the siren calls of giant robots.
Yeah, that's a certified tune in, and I was gonna do a bit where I didn't want to record the episode because I wanted to just watch the next episode, but I figured that would just be annoying, so I didn't.
Thanks for telling us this nice little behind baseball.
Yeah, sort of a behind the TV Tuners exclusive.
What are we even? Yes. So that's the end of the episode.
Didn't want to record the episode. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for the second installment. As a tune in. We'll be back.
Must watch.
We'll be back next week with the third installment of our little mini series here, halfway.
Yes. Dawn of
And
Rebellion.
as always, if you want to request a bonus episode, you can do so by going to buymeacoffee.com/TBTuners. One coffee equals one topic for us to discuss. And yeah. You can also check out the OG. If this is somehow your first episode, maybe go back and listen to the first of this miniseries.
Maybe it'll make more sense.
And then when you're done with that, go and listen to TV Tuners, the main feed, where we talk about TV, the latest and sometimes greatest. Not this week, though. We were talking about Walker. The poor man's reboot of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Where they give the character the same name.
And that's it.
And nothing else.
And they follow Stairmaster's premise writing advice by adding a single father.
Oh, I guess maybe you're right. Maybe single dads aren't the way to go.
Single dads are passe now. I want 2 dads.
I don't know. T-Bull's a single dad, and we all cheer for him.
True. Yeah. He's also a single adoptive dad. So I think that's what we need more of, adoptive dads.
Yeah. Last of Us. Style. Plus.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the message at the end of that game. Alright, so yes, that's it for this week's episode of the show. We'll be back next week for more Gundams. Until then, keep piloting. Bye. It's over.
Will you survive?
Hey folks, it's time for the TV Tuners Denver Gundam Fact of the Millennium. Did you know that Stairmaster has changed his name a total of 6 times, and he's had 3 of his doppelgangers murdered to take their identities?
It's all for a good cause.
The annihilation of Earth.